As soon as I hit the live button, thunder and lightning struck outside. There is a storm a brewing. Get ready for a fun time. Anyway, it is Sunday, the 5th of the July. That means we have just passed a holiday. And we are in it to win. It's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we do every Saturday and Sunday. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyway, let's say hello to... Oh, if you don't know, today is the day. We are on the 78th episode of Write a Book with Me, from concept to completion. That's right. I'm going to be writing a book in real time. So if you don't know, you don't know. But if you do know, that's right. I'm going to be writing in real time. So we're going to see that in a second. But before we jump into it, there's a couple of things I had to say, like hello to everybody. You know, it's been a couple hours. What is up? We got Flowers in the house. Flowers. And we don't worry, Flowers. When it comes to the poll, we accept aggression. Don't worry. SB. It's definitely becoming one of my favorites. I don't know if I'm any good at the violence. The violence. Violence. It's heavy metal. Look, sometimes you can write violence, sometimes you can't. It happens. There's no problem with that. I did write a little scene with violence in my first book, but so far I haven't repeated that. I don't write violence. I'm not very good at it. Scared to write the violence. That's all I have is violence. Hello, Angel Faye. Konnichiwa. What is up, good sir Afghani? Today, before we get into the writing of the book, remember there is a poll. We talk about it at the end of the hour. Today's poll is, let's see what we get. Is it difficult and uncomfortable to write these moments in books? Bad language or inappropriate words? Yes, I've had this conversation with more than one writer where they ultimately are nervous to write bad words. Why? Because they themselves don't normally use bad words. They are very polite and articulate, and they give us that the respect, right? They don't throw the words out there. So it is also difficult for them to write the words in. That's what they said. So I figured we'd talk about that. Romance and love scenes. This is softer. So romance, like the lovey-dovey stuff. I love you. You're so pretty. You're touching the face. I like your beard. Right? That kind of stuff. But also love scenes where it's just so, fade to black, or, maybe it's just a little bit of light touching. We don't describe the deep details. Sex or intimate scenes a little harder. This is like the erotica stuff and the, like, so. By the way, if that's how you kiss, look, no judgment. I call it the goat. But is that how you can... Anyway. And of course, violence or aggression. Aggression, the reason I have that on there... I understand violence if anyone chooses violence. But aggression... I have a friend who is a writer. And I have talked to them about this. And they were saying sometimes when it gets to stuff where like they have to show conflict that is more physical... It's actually difficult for them because they have the PTSD and the trauma from dealing with an abusive parent, as they put it. So that's something I definitely would like to talk about. It's interesting, because I know I have traumas and the PTSD and crazy stuff from my youth. So like for me, I like working through those things. I like experiencing and exploring those things. But it's interesting that it is here. Also, 6 votes. We have 11 viewers. Feel free to vote. We will talk about it at the end of the hour. Oh, we got some more. Konnichiwa. Is that why your initials are really TJVB? TJVB. Very bloody. All right. Thomas Joseph Violence Bellezza. I chose the sex scenes. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, the erotic stuff can be uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to write sex scenes because I know my family will read it. Are you, and I'm only asking this to you, Afghani, because I know you and we have a very funny humor and sense of humor. Are you uncomfortable writing the sex scenes because you don't want your family to read it and be like, he has no idea what he's doing? Or is it because you don't want your dad or mother to be like, very good scenes. Very good. And now you're a part of their history of arousal. I'm just asking. Just asking. That's why F-bombs come easy. Fuck yeah. All right. Fungule. All right. The soft and hard sex scenes are the most fun ones. They really are. However, if you're at my age, there's no such thing as a hard sex scene. All right. I have very little family left, so those scenes are fine with me. See, the benefits. The benefits. But aren't you like 30? Come on, Flowers. You're like me. You're like me. We're very young. We're very young. Those still here don't know I write. That's good. In my debut novel, I wrote the mix of soft and had sex scenes. Excelente. Did you see me playing with my dolls? No, sir, I didn't see you playing with your dolls. All right, let's get into it. Hello, everyone. If you have never seen the show, this is for the people that are just checking the video for the first time and jumping on. To make sure that this video gets everywhere, you have to remember the most important thing is to bloop that beard and bloop that like button. That's right. Interaction does elevate the video. It tells the Instagram, it tells the YouTube algorithm gods that some people might like this video. Anyway, what have I been doing for, what is this, 77 weeks? This is 78th week. I have been writing a book in real time on the screen using my process, thus the Thomas J. Bellezza process. This is not the right process for everyone. It is not the only process, and it is not me saying this is the way. Though if I was Mandalorian, I have spoken. Now, we have done 9 steps so far. Look at that. Boom. We have popped through 9 steps, and now we are officially on the first draft. We have been flying through it. We're technically at the end of chapter 3, but we've been breaking things up, and this is why you're going to see that chapter 3 says 3.2. Why? Because I broke up the book so far. So chapter 1, as a 0 draft, my original goal was to write a chapter per plot point, but that's the beginning of the stage, and I'm trying to show that you have to be able to change things up. You have to be malleable, as they say, during the process. Yes, I set a goal. Yeah, I set some levels for me. But at the end of the day, chapter 1 ended up getting broken into 3 chapters. Chapter 2 ended up getting broken into 2 chapters. And chapter 3 got broken up into 2 chapters. So technically, this is 3, 6, 7. We're on chapter 7 already. Now, the reason I do this is because this is a first draft document. So to maintain order in my folder, I label it 3.1, 3.2, whatever the case is. When I get to the second draft, that's when I will change the chapter to its appropriate chapter number. If I have to break a chapter up again in my second draft, this chapter would be 7.1, like if I had to break this chapter up, and the next one would be 7.2. So I do expand and elevate. If you don't know how I approach my first drafts, basically what I do is, this is all the stuff I was helping people with. Let's clean this out. Boom, 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 boom. If you don't know, the way I really approach is I take my 0 draft outlines, which is this. I use bullet points to do 0 drafts. All right, and I basically map out my beats. This is a main beat. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beats. There's only, is that 7? There are 8, 9 beats I have to react to. And then I basically write it out in prose. I'm not looking to write publishable prose right now. I'm not trying to write great sentences. I am not trying to make this look like I am an expert writer. Because at the end of the day, to be a great writer, an expert writer, to create publishable work, you must rewrite. Because all great writing is rewriting, as well as all great writers have great editors. So the reason I show this process is to nullify that fear that writers have, where if the first thing they write isn't good, then am I even a writer? And the reality is, yes, you are a writer. Because writing is all inside. It's all the invisible stuff. When you're sitting there and relaxing, trying to go to sleep, doing the dishes, taking a crap, and you're thinking about your story, that's what makes you a writer. Words do not necessarily make you a writer, because anyone could write Sarah Met Chris, but it's thinking about how everything works that truly makes a writer a writer. With that said, let's get into it. My next book won't have any of the nookies, though. I need some nookies. I need some nookies. Need a little bit. You need a little kissy kissy. I almost finished chapter 8 of my novel. Only need 800 of them. Whoa! Let's celebrate and applaud. I love it. 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 All right. Boop, 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 boop. By the way, if you have questions while I'm doing this, please just ask. They are only allowed the flirting. Hi, how are you? Oh, that got things moving. Could you please slow down the flirtation? I'm the same way. I'm the same way. My characters go, you. that's that's how they flirt. All right. Let's see. Captain, you have to get to the back of the ship or my hull is going to implode. And most, if not all of you flesh bags will get sucked into space. Space, if you don't remember, is bad, but being torn through a hole is worse. This is the computer talking. I make it italicized. 2 plus 2. Hey, Danny, what's up? Gutted to Mr. Dan Brown one night. It was my old man's 60th. Oh, happy birthday to the old man. Back in attendance for class today. 60 years old. Fantastic. Fantastic. What does that make you? Let's see. Let's do the math. Are you 40? You're about 40. You're about 40. I will be working on the second last page of chapter 13. Ooh, look at this. Nobody is choosing bad language or inappropriate words, romance, and love scenes. All I'm hearing is no one has a problem saying, oh, yeah, right there, kissy, kissy, goat kiss. And that's it. All right, we're good. We're good. Looking good. All right. Liberty runs in and kind of yelling for Manson to help her patch out. All right. This is the part. Manson grabbed my arm and slipped. And I slipped out of his grip. I don't really like with locking mine. Locking. I screamed. Oh, as he screamed. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Remember, this is a first draft. We don't really care about that. I'm 35, editing my chapter 1 today. Today after your notes. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. You get an applause for that. I love hearing that. I'm glad my notes helped you. Good sir. Good sir. Got a question. If I send you a chapter of my current novel to read on your stream, will you do it? Also leave me comments about it. Are you asking me to read the chapter on the screen and give comments about it as if I'm editing it in real time? If so, absolutely, Angel Faye. Just send it to me to my email that you got. I'd be happy to do that. Next, yeah, the next video will be an editing video. Though there is a queue. So if you send me your chapter, it's going to be put into a queue. It's pretty big right now, but that doesn't mean I won't do it. It just means I'll get to it. Yeah, fantastic. Send it away. Send it away. Send it away. You're absolutely welcome. All right, let's just get through the rhythm of the beat with this. Okay. Watch this fucking computer. Oh, wait. She's supposed to be flying. The ship. I must have missed a few things when I was gone. You did, you did. We got through. We got through. We've been flying through. We can't stop just because Afghani's not here. By the way, your presence was not only very noticeable, but missed. We missed you, buddy. We missed you. It is definitely heavily raining right now. Making. Oh, I just got a. I got a weather warning. That's. Excuse me. I gotta see if there's something. I see the ceiling. I hear like water pounding. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay. Well. It's so loud. It's so heavy, the rain, that it sounds like it's like coming through the house. That's crazy. All right. We're good. We're good. Uh-oh, sirens. No, it was more there's a huge storm happening right now. I got a weather warning on my phone, and then it sounded like rain was literally coming through the ceiling, but it's so heavy outside. I am storming Norman, and I'm out of breath. This is what it means. I have really good lungs. Oh boy, did its pipes? The pipes did not burst, but it's raining so heavy outside. Rain. I want to sing. What's that song? Rain. What is it? Rain. Song about rain. What is it called? Not Purple Rain. Not Singing in the Rain. Rain. Oh, Milli Vanilli, right? Rain. Vanilla, right? Oh, blame it on the rain. That's what. I knew the lyrics. Blame it on the rain. What is it? As it's ooh, ooh. Yeah. Blame it on the rain that was falling down. All right. Okay. Yeah, blame it on the rain. That's right. That's right. You and I, we know. Blame it on the rain. Hey, Cindy, what's up, my friend? All right, let's keep it going. All right. Actually, you have jury duty tomorrow. You got to do what I do. Wait, I don't know if I can say it on the internet. My friend. That's how. My friend. Your Honor, I was making jokes. My friend would. My friend would just not respond to the mail at all, and that's what my lawyer cousin once told me. If you don't respond to it, you're not responsible for it. Did not believe them. And then it worked every single time. I mean, yay, I got jury duty time tomorrow. Jury duty time tomorrow. Remember when you go there, you go, Your Honor, I've always wanted to put a man to death. One lawyer will be like, "This one's a keeper." The other will be like, "I'd like to dismiss this juror, please." You sure? I always wanted that power in my hand. I do not think this juror is appropriate for this case, especially because it has nothing to do with the murder. All right. They make you think they will put a warrant out for you. Tricky bees, tricky bees. I do. Yes, that is true. But I believe it's only if you're aware of it. Right? Let me see. If you don't respond to the juror notice, as if you never got it, can you be arrested? Huh. Interesting. It says here. Yeah, if you truly never receive the summons because it was lost in the mail or went to a different address, or you were out of state, you cannot legally be penalized for willful contempt of court. However, because the court doesn't automatically know the mail was lost, they may still proceed with standard enforcement steps, including issuing a potential warrant for your arrest, mostly to bring you in. It's called a bench warrant. However, they rarely do it because it's not worth it. Interesting. That's interesting. Okay. Interesting. I always said I didn't have transportation. Then one time I told the clerk that I believe in the death penalty for all. Whether that's true or not, fantastic answer. Uh, you know, stealing candy is just as bad as amputating somebody's foot, Your Honor. I believe in the death penalty. I did jury duty. Oh, I did jury duty. Read 3 books. Fantastic. I mean, yeah, you don't have to pay attention to the case. I once asked somebody, if you cut someone's head from their body, it's called decapitation. But what if your intent was to cut their body from their head? Is that amputation? Just asking. All right. I'm taking a couple of books with me tomorrow. Bring your laptop so you could write. All right. Aren't we all a little crazy? This is gonna be quick. This is gonna be. I'm trying to get back there. All right. So if you're wondering, if you've never been here before, I'm writing a first draft of this book, and I don't really go into the craziness of it. I just sort of try to map out the rhythm, and then I leave myself notes all the time for ideas that I do want to explore, but maybe don't want to write at this moment. Only because, like, it's the first draft, and I know I'm gonna have to rework the scenes anyway. So this is an example of me going. In my head, I kind of want to see the chaos of going from the cockpit all the way to the back. But at the end of the day, I would rather play with that in the second draft than the first draft, if that makes sense. Because, like, let's just get to the writing, you know. All right. That's not how you spell it. All right. All right. Actually, let's do I studied. Hey, what's up, Ashley? Welcome to the show. Going camping this week, getting things ready, taking everything. Taking everything. Have fun on your camping trip. Remember, bears, not the same as Yogi. All right. Yogi. Hey, Yogi. What is it? Hey. Hey, Yogi. What are you gonna do with the picnic baskets?
I don't know there, Boo Boo, but I'm gonna eat all the picnic baskets.
I think that was pretty good, Yogi and Boo Boo. Anyway, because I managed to synchronize my Scrivener files with my tablet, I can also open them with the Google Docs or even Microsoft's. I can take it with the to the hospital for removal. Oh, the stones, my friend. We're sending much love to you. Whoo, stones are no fun. No fun to remove. I just came on. I just talking to my foster mother about issues that I've been dealing with. Excellent, Hannah. Just a small reminder. This is live and very, very public. If you're comfortable talking about your life and the issues, you know that we're here. We're an open community and we're very supportive. But I know sometimes in the heat of the moment, I forget that all the eyes of the world beyond today can see what it is I am talking about. So bear that in mind. Hey! Oh, man. Hey, great. Thanks. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're hanging out, checking out. If you've been here before, but you haven't said anything, remember, you could ask questions. Ask questions about writing. Ask questions about what I'm doing. Ask questions about your own stuff. That is why I do these live Saturdays and Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just to be a resource for everyone. I'm a developmental editor and a writing teacher, so it's free advice. Been doing it for 20-something years, give or take. You can sync it. That's right. Sync. Yes, Diana, with external folders. I only need to select one drive box. All right, let's keep going. I think this is actually supposed to be left forward. Left forward, following the suction. Again, it's modifying close to the rear. Grabbing. All right. So again, I'm gonna leave a note to myself. I kind of want to go deeper into all of this. I don't really want to right now, and it's not necessary. So what I'm gonna do is this is the thing. What is this? I don't think this is very long, this chapter, right? It's 1396. My Scrivener syncs to Dropbox. This ain't a long chapter, but this is what's happening with my brain right now. This is writer brain. This is the writing part. I know it's 13 something or other, and I know that it's going to be at least, because look, I have 6 more beats that I definitely have to hit. So I'm assuming, let's say 200 per thing. It's another 1,200 words. I'm going to use the word pace, but in the correct way. I think the pacing is going to be a little weird here. So let's see, 1396 plus 1,200. That's not how that works. 1396 plus 1,200 is 2,500 words. Again, I'm not writing thick chapters per se. What are we looking at here? Right, this is a pretty long chapter, but my chapters are pretty short. 2,000 is not too bad. See, so like this chapter being really long, this chapter being really long might be an issue. All right, so I think what I might do, because I like all the stuff up until the sound, right? Whatever, man, sir, D3, blah, 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 stop. Okay, yeah, thanks, man. It's this scene right here. The hole went red and all right. I got some. All right, I have things I have to think about. I am watching a TV show called Omnius. Don't know if I had spelled that right or not. It's what a character called Nemo. Nemo. I like that you show leaving notes to yourself. I do this sometimes too, if what I want to go back to would pull me from my current rhythm. Yeah, absolutely. I am a fan of just leaving the notes. I do it. Obviously, you can see I do it everywhere in the red. And it's because the way I was taught to write fast in screenwriting, when I had when you're getting paid, per draft, not per hour, it's about being, how do I keep my quality up and speed up the process? Well, what I learned early on, which moved into my long form writing, and I think I talk about this a lot, but it's not so much making it's like, all right, here's the easiest way to do it. Imagine I'm writing a screenplay or a book and I go, move, please. I slid around G3, him and his damn gun pointed at me. That doesn't help me, right? And then I'm like, oh, G3, maybe his name should be Gallon. No. Maybe it should be Gluteon, right? Yeah, Gluteon. No, maybe it should be Jim, right? Whatever. I just spent that's too much time. That's too much time spent on just the word. In reality, I'm going to work this book. I'm going to work these drafts. So in screenwriting, it's the same thing. Not only am I going to work the draft I'm writing, but there's going to be people that read it with me. There's going to be a moment where I have actors. In this case, it would be beta readers for books, be actors for a screenplay. And I'm going to be taking notes and I'm going to be reworking it. The line level editing, right? To make every word perfect, to be like, my patience was, I don't like the word was, but it's there, right? Because it's a first draft. But my patience was this close to snapping. If I spent any time trying to make that perfect in a first draft, second draft, I'd even argue a third draft, I'm wasting my time because it has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now, which is writing out the narrative. I'm trying to find the narrative. Why do I say that? Well, when you're done with a screenplay or a book, who's the last people that get it before you publish it or hand it in? Editors. An editor's going to come in and do the line work. It's not my job to do the line work. However, that doesn't mean in my second draft I can't rewrite this sentence or adjust this sentence. But if I'm focused on trying to do line work, which is a very specific thing, I'm wasting my time from actually writing the story. So it's important as a writer to focus on just writing it out. And then the closer you get to where you feel the book is good, now, if you can't afford a line editor, you handle line editing and copy editing. But keep in mind, I still haven't even had beta readers read this. And because beta readers haven't read it, why am I going to edit lines? They're going to change anyway. You know, people might be like, I don't like this is too slow, or these characters are too ridiculous. And it's just not worth it. So I just leave a note. I just go, I got to do an alien name here. I want to, you know, for something specific, figure out what this is. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too many drafts between now and when it's done. You know, I'd be lying if I said I never wasted a ton of time on this type of nonsense. We all do it. I honestly do it occasionally. I'll get into that OCD mindset where I'm just trying to make the sentences. My big thing is this. You see these white, the white spaces? Because I'm not using this on Adobe InDesign, I'm using it on Google. This kills me. So what I'll actually do is this. I'll go, he's right, G3, G4 said, grabbing his shoulder. And turning him. See, around doesn't work. Turning him face. Yeah. Right? Like, I would do this, but now it's making this one bad. Just so it's like kind of, it looks better. And that's where my OCD will come in and destroy me. But I'm not necessarily doing line editing. I'm just, my brain is like, how do I make it look smoother and cleaner? You know, I like it to look like this, you know, where it's like tight. Again, though, it doesn't matter because once you put it in Adobe InDesign, you could actually set the parameters to adjust that in real time. You don't have to go through each line. You just set the parameters and it handles the hyphenation and it handles, hey, baby, are you scared of the storm? Don't worry, you can lay here. The cat's nervous. That stuff gets handled different ways. And, you know, but sometimes my OCD, I'm the same, Afghani. But the go-to move is to keep going. I think I have to cut this chapter, though, in half. All right. Editing this chapter, I was so proud yesterday because I snipped 300 words, and today I've added them back in with rewrites. Yo! Again, the length of a chapter also doesn't necessarily matter. Oh, sorry, baby. You can't just hide there. The length of a chapter doesn't necessarily matter in the sense of, like, if it works and it's a complete chapter and everything is moving towards something, then that's a good choice just in general. Also, I still don't know if my title is going to be my title. You know, Flowers, until you publish the book, and even afterwards, you have some time. I need to check into that and figure it out. That would be so useful, Angel. Oh, the Scribner. Two needs a thunder. Yeah, she definitely needs a... Look at... Oh, she's so nervous right now. Baby, you could come up here. You want to come up? My cat's nervous. It's thundering and lightning outside, everyone. If you need help, you can reach me through Discord. That's true. We do have a Discord. Down. All right. I have the she's like the brown and black with the tan. Meow. See? She's a little baby. She's a little baby. Oh no, she is not. She is not. She's just sitting here now. Morticia muttered the meow from her blanket. Meow. Yes. That's what she is. That's exactly what she is. I couldn't remember the how to pronounce it. Calico. It is a calico kitty. Meow meow. Meow meow. I always say meow meow to try to get her to come to me. Meow meow. I think it's starting to teach her to come to me though now. I know it's a joke, but I'm like, meow. All right. I think what I want to do is Manser held the panel. Long enough for me to get to the signs. All right. Oh, fuck. All right. I said 10 minutes, so that's enough time to start now and get to work. All right. So this is the issue, though. Let me do my. This should be 900 and some. 900 and something. See, 927 words, right? So we definitely should be in the what I would call conflict. They're putting it together. Manser. I stopped and leaned against the wall, trying to hide from. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. That's what I'm doing. You have this much time. All right. It's enough time if we start now and get to work. So I think I could potentially just cut here and make this its own scene, and then that'll allow enough time for the chaos, because that's the thing, like we're about to have a big action moment. We're about to have a character die. We're about to have chaos, right? So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I miss. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, it's never easy losing any kind of pet. Yeah, little babies, little babies. My heart goes out to you. I'm I'm still devastated with the loss of my dog, and it's been a couple years. I don't even know how to. Sometimes I think of him, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. All right, I gotta add a new file here. Uno momento, por favor. All right. Boop, 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 boop. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna just take this. I gotta take this, cut it right out. Oh, I actually need this information too. Boop. All right, let's do this. All right, I'm taking all this out. Whee! Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is, I already made the copy, so this is now gonna be 3.3. All right, I could do this. Boop. This is 3.3. All right. Whee! Boop. Uno momento, por favor. Right. Whoops. This is the scene we need. We need this. Okay. Let's go here and boom. All right, there we go. All right. Now we go here. Do one of these. Do one of these. All right. It's checking out. This goes here. That goes here. All right. Okay. All right, so then I'm gonna do this. This is oh wait. Let's see. There should be two scenes here, right? Yeah, two scenes. So this one is 417. This one is 510, which it is. All right. And right now we're at 469. Is that how much I wrote today? How much I wrote? No, no, because all I wrote was this little bit. Was this 150? 130. All right. Baby. All right. I feel much better about this. So now the setup is 500 words ish, right? 500 words. So now I can actually play with the middle, which is the patchwork and everything else. So that's going to be this, well patching it up. The gang member happens, dies, Laura throws Manser. All right. So this is where I am. These two major beats are going to be the middle, and this is the resolution. So I set up the circumstances, right? The chapter starts off with them. Oh, we finished the last one, and then the thing beep beep beep. The red thing goes off, coming to a stop in X amount of time. Blah 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 blah. What are we gonna do? This is setup. We have one more hole we have to fix up, Captain. You got to fix it. Oh no, this is technically this is where the middle starts. So let's see. We did 224 words for the setup. And now we're inside the middle. The middle so far is 245 words. Since we have two major beats, that's probably going to be another 400 to 600 words, give or take. And then the resolution actually might be less. It might be a little answer look or yeah. This little beat right here is probably going to be 250 words. All right. And I think this is going to be, I don't know, maybe 600 words. Maybe. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if I'm right. I revised 1132 words today. I'm going to relax and watch your latest Patreon on editing and filler words. Oh, you're gonna have fun with that one. You're gonna have fun with that class, my friend. And by the way, huge applause. Congratulations on that. All right. What we got? 12, 13 minutes left. All right, all right. All right. Bug. All right. Great. This is for me, not necessarily for the narrative. I want the cargo catches to be a term, which means I could probably use that later, right? And that's the important part about notes, is you add these notes to sort of go, hey, I could mention that earlier, you know? But you don't have to also, you know? However, in earlier scenes, it might make sense. My girl just did a big fantastic. She threw her father's clothes that were on a chair on the floor. You know what that means? Clothes everywhere. Son of a, son of a. Ooh, 13 votes. There are 16 people watching, so if you haven't voted yet, remember you can vote. The poll today is very simple. Is it difficult and uncomfortable to write these moments in books? We'll talk about it in a couple minutes. We have bad language or inappropriate words? This is ultimately how it is. Romance and love scenes that are soft. This is fade to blacks and like all the mushy gushy gobbledygook. And then of course we have sex or intimate scenes, the hottest stuff. You know, hey, not the goat kissing, not blah, 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 deeper stuff. And of course violence or aggression, which is all heavy metal. Metal. Boop, 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 boop. For 40 days and for 40 nights. Book-a-doo-boo-goo. What's uncomfortable about writing violence? Some people, I think I mentioned this at the beginning. A friend of mine had some traumatic experiences growing up, especially with an abusive parent. So when they write violent stuff, it's difficult to sort of work through those ideas. It could be anything for anybody, It's not. I love writing violence, not because I like violence, but because if it influences the character and the narrative itself and places the reader into a certain uncomfortable situation that the character is experiencing, great. Violence for violence sake, not so much. Like Hostel, the movie Hostel, not really my kind of violence. But people can become uncomfortable with certain things. I mean, I know people who hate when people kiss. Her wobble walk is so cute. I love it. Did you read what she did in the living room? The clothes thing? The tossing the clothes? Yeah, I read that. I did indeed. I was like, oh, she made a mess. My characters are teens, so sex scenes would definitely be uncomfortable. Fair. It's fade to black for those scenes. I agree with that choice, and this is why you get into that weird, are you allowed to write that kind of stuff? Because if you're a teenager writing that stuff, that's one thing. But like, I'm 48 years old, and there was this moment in Death of a King where Zanaya is naked, and her and Devious are like 16 at the time, and I was describing her body and his, and I was like, you know what? Let's bring that back. So I brought it back, and I made it more intimate emotionally than I did physically, but she is still naked because in my mind the Sarvians, or more important the Naradita, aren't really like, ooh, boobies. They're like naturally like that, so nudity isn't quote unquote sexualized, and I thought it was a good opportunity to show their culture and that it isn't like kind of stuff. But the intimacy element I thought I could lean into, and that's what I ended up doing in that. It's an earlier chapter. However, book 2, they are a little older. And then book 3, a little older. And then book 4, much older. Book 5, I would say. So the deeper I get into the series, the more adult, not to, it'll never be erotica, but the more adult I allow it to be, the more I allow the characters to explore things. And that was my sort of justification when I was writing it, is allowing it to be what it is, you know. I am attempting a cozy book. None of those things would be appropriate behind closed doors. Behind closed doors, my friends all fade to black. Yeah, sometimes a fade to black is definitely the way to go. I just have to come on here to point out that sex or intimate scenes is currently... Wait, it is indeed. All right. Just pointed out the irony. Okay, bye. You're supposed to say read out. Okay. What would fantasy be without violence? Not Game of Thrones. Are there non-violent fantasy books? Are there non-violent fantasy books? I guess there has to be, right? Yes, there are tons. Oh, anything cozy fantasy is considered. Legends and Lattes. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry is a fantastic zero combat story about retired orc barbarian. Oh, Legends and Lattes. Oh yes, Legends and Lattes. Excellent cover too. Yeah, that's they're in a coffee shop. Yeah. I mean, poor Afghani. You hate romantasy. I don't have a problem with romantasy, but I don't choose it. If that makes sense. Like if I'm reading something, I'm like, oh, I think this is romantasy. It is what it is. All right. I love that. I love that you hate it though. I honestly love it. Because it's like, you know, it's great. Have to watch Look What Happened to the Writer in Australia with her debut. Oh, yes. I think that's basically what I was talking about. Because if you're a certain age and you're writing characters, I think teenagers can kiss in a book. But the way I would approach it is the rule of thumb with your reading group. I'm writing adult epic fantasy because it's tackling PTS, trauma, violence, a lot of crazy stuff. But I still have to connect the dots to the fact that the first, I think 10 or 12 chapters, maybe 15 chapters, the age ranges from 14 to 18. You know, like they grow 4 years over those chapters. And it's like, I don't think I need to explore that sexuality at that point for any reason. And I think that's important for writers to think about. Even though it's an adult epic fantasy, and my main protagonist is basically 18 when the book goes to the act 2. But approach your writing in the same way. You know, if they're kids, like middle grade or young adult, I think you could have kissing and romance, but that's about it. Rarely do they open the doors. And I think you should approach it that way as writers as well, especially if you're at a certain age. You know, you don't need like a 63-year-old somebody writing like the 2 12-year-olds really got on. You're like, wow! Just put that down. Especially if the words are getting really detailed in the script, you're like, what? 69. Is it bad that took me a minute to wonder why it was? Oh, no. Look, we all have different life experiences. We all have different life experiences. I chose the sex scenes, but I wouldn't choose all of them. The show I'm watching is Nautilus. The Nautilus. Isn't there nudity in Nautilus? I write romance. Never anything erotic. But sex scenes are difficult because my day job is working with the public, and I don't want to cross a professional line there, so fade to black. There's nothing wrong with a fade to black. That's all I'm saying, you know? All right, we finished. We finished today. We finished today. All right, let's get into it. Bloop. Paul. All right, so we're talking about the poll a little bit. Is it difficult? We have 13 votes. If you haven't voted yet, please vote. I noticed that there is a strong opinion on no one caring about a bad language or inappropriate words, romance, and love scenes that are soft, fade to blacks. No one cares about it, right? We're comfortable with that. All right, there are still two very important topics, but before we get into it, I have to do the rundown and I gotta check on the kitty. So I'm gonna hit the ad. I'll be back in a minute or two. And then we can talk about the poll, have some fun, answer your questions, and get to the fun of the nit and grit. I shall be back. Hey, pre-recorded Thomas, take over. Tag, you're it. Bloop that beard and bloop that like button. Yep, every like, comment, and share tells the YouTube algorithm that you're enjoying this channel and want to see more of it. And if the algorithm knows you like this channel, it'll keep you up to date on when my videos are out. But it'll also tell you when my lives are going. That's right. I do lives every Saturday and Sunday. Saturdays are always real-time writing examples, and Sundays are the Write a Book With Me series from concept to completion. It's a lot of fun, and I'm a developmental editor and a writing coach, so if you have questions, you can ask them in real time. I do the lives for you as an opportunity for you to have a free resource to ask questions. If you didn't know, I also have books available. That's right. I have a book on outlining, but if you're a pantser, the first half of this book is dedicated to understanding narrative movement, flow, and just narrative overall. The outliner in you, or outliners out there, the second half is focused on the 27 plot point outline, which is my channel's specialty. Also, I have Death of a King. This is my epic fantasy, book 1 of 5. It is only available on Patreon and Substack. Patreon is the scribe tier. Substack, you just join and you can read the books. I release the chapters once a week. I'm already ahead by a lot. But when you get the chapters, it's the release of the 0th, 1st, and 3rd drafts before the polish. The whole point of this series is to show you the process behind the writing so you can watch it evolve and elevate, and I explain my choices and behaviors as a writer. Then I give you an educational understanding of why I did what I did to help you with your own writing. Also, this is a noir book. This is not the cover of the book, it's just there for the image, but I do look nice with the hat on. This book is also available on Patreon and Substack. However, I will say it's only the 0 draft, but I still explain my process and then give educational feedback to help you with your writing. If you didn't know, I have this book. If you're a writer or you just want to be successful in general in the entertainment industry, including being a writer, this is the foundation for longevity. Book 1 of 5. Speaking of, book 2, Finding Solutions with Talent, is the second book in the series. It continues to add to the evolution of the education. It's a fun series. It basically is, if you hired me as a consultant, this is the stuff I would teach you. Boom! Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, I have a YouTube membership. You'll get a growing narrative course called How to Write a Narrative. It's a weekly course I publish on Thursdays, and I break down the writing process of writing out your narrative. It's a full masterclass. The goal is to get it to 25 videos. I'm flying through it. I'm adding them every day. Once that's done, I'm going to start a new masterclass. If you're already a member, you'll be able to get it. P.S. If you're on Patreon or Substack and you are a member there, you too can get the How to Write a Narrative course. It's there. It's there. And finally, I'm uploading stuff. That's right, I'm uploading downloadables. The first of many is this one, the 27 plot point outline quick reference sheet. The link is available in the comments and description below. Don't worry, if you're a member on Patreon or Substack or even YouTube memberships, the downloads will be available for you. Other than that, now back to you, Thomas J. Bellezza. Boom! I'm glad I could help you. Save that breath. Thank you, pre-recorded Thomas J. Bellezza. Excellent as always. And may I add, fantastic beard. Fantastic beard. All right, where are we? We're in it, right? Oh, we got some thoughts here. The first story I ever wrote became really naughty really fast. That's why I don't write children's books anymore. It just doesn't read right. My whip has a couple of scenes, but even writing them, I think I'm over it. I even had a spicy scene interrupted. That's funny. It's a bug. It's like two characters like, oh, I love you. And then all of a sudden they're like, housekeeping. What is with this bug? Oh, I think I got it. I got it. First time. Beginner's luck. I may have had a cookie. All right. My sex scenes just have the other person complain. Using what I know. I mean, it's raining outside. Well, let's just say that my mom can't read it. Well, that's fair. That's fair. They turned into rabbits. There's this book. I don't know the name of it, but apparently characters are like snake people and they look human or they aren't, or they look like snake people. They're like were snakes and they have sex. That's all I'm saying. Very weird. Okay, baby girl's down for the night. To be fair, Cupid did shoot them with the do it like rabbits arrow. But where is the do it like goats arrow? All right, let's get into it. If you have lots of slithering, yeah, you have chosen slithering. Okay, so if you haven't voted on the poll, just feel free to jump on it right now. We have officially lost the 69% on sex or intimate scenes, but is it difficult and uncomfortable for you personally to write these moments in books? We have bad language or inappropriate words. You know, we're going to talk about each thing now. The thing that I can understand with this is like if you grew up in a way where like you had to maintain respect and sort of like I don't necessarily agree with this, but if you had to maintain like respect or some sort of politeness, you know, bad languages might seem like sort of like, will people judge you on it? But honestly, get it in there. However, Brandon Sanders, and again, Brandon Sanders isn't the be-all, end-all of the writing world, but he does have really great nuggets of wisdom. And whatever genre you write, it's interesting to sort of hear outside thoughts. Hey, what book are we writing? How's it going? We today, well, we do about an hour of writing. If you don't know, we were writing a original book. It's sci-fi. It's Laura Olivia is out and about, gets hijacked. Her ship gets hijacked, and they almost die. All the fun stuff. So we're just writing a book in real time. But we do about an hour. We've already did the hour. So now what I do is I answer questions, and we talk about the poll, and we learn a little bit about writing in general. But if you have questions about writing, your books, anything, you can ask me the questions. I'm a developmental editor and a writing teacher, so it's free advice that I give on Saturdays and Sundays. Where was I? Oh, bad language and appropriate. So Brandon, when it comes to bad language or inappropriate words, something that I really thought was smart for Brandon Sanderson, or any writer really, is in-world curse words. And I started doing that on Death of a King. I went back and I started saying, can I mix and match? So, Gargonian's arse is an insult or a curse word, but also I just made up words and I added context to those words and how they mean. Basically, like it's like saying, you know, like a strunza or something like that in Italian. It has like its own cultural denigration, I guess. So when you're writing, if you're uncomfortable using straightforward bad words, you can still use a form of bad words or inappropriate words by just creating cultural relevance, especially if you're writing fantasy, any form of fantasy or sci-fi. You have a lot of freedom in just creating words in general. But some words aren't necessarily as bad as you think. And there's also an AI there. AI. There's also an AI. AI? It's also an AI. I'm sorry, Angel Fan. I'm missing the context. I apologize. It's the sometimes my brain doesn't remember the stuff that we talked about. Please reiterate. I'm laughing because my mother said some authors have screwed up minds. We all have screwed up minds. Oh, the machine. Oh, yes, for the book. Yes, in the book that we're writing on the screen, there is an AI. Welcome to the machine. All right. Tied in last place, or in this case, third place, is bad language and inappropriate words, but then also romance and love scenes soft. I think mine's defo screwed up. My brain is screwed up. You got to be a little crazy to be artistic, or is it autistic? I'm a little of both. When it comes to romance and love scenes, I'll be honest. I know some writers that have a hard time writing intimacy. Not necessarily touching, but intimacy, like the deeper stuff, without being like, hey, how you doing? Cleans their eyebrows. Like that, not the cheesy kind of like intimacy and romance, but that deeper stuff, the actual flirting. And especially if, let's put it this way. I have a friend, if we could call him that. I haven't really talked to him in like 20 years. But back in my band days, and everyone who knows this person will know who I'm talking about. But, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with being, let's say, asexual or anything. But, there's a certain decorum you need to approach love, like romance and, like communication is important. But so is, I don't know, holding someone's hand or, brushing your teeth helps. You should brush your teeth. I'm trying to say. Another friend, you say? No, this is not me. This is someone else. I'm just saying. Anyway, when they read books, like when they read like fantasy books and there was romance in it, like people were like flirting with each other and stuff, he just never like understood it or got it, or like he was like, I don't know if this is interesting. Like, I don't like there's like love in it. Not that it was a romance, but that it was and I'm like, maybe you're uncomfortable because you don't know how to be romantic. Like you can't handle romance. Right? And he's like, I bought my girl like $250 worth of things on Valentine's Day, and I always buy her lots of stuff for Christmas and her birthday. And I'm like, that's not necessarily romance. If you're gonna spend $250, what are the gifts saying that's maybe dictating your past together, or representing something current, or maybe even suggesting the future? Like, you can't just buy lots of money of stuff and be like, I'm romantic. So I can understand, like, if a writer, especially certain creed of writers, might not necessarily have the experience of romance, and it could be difficult to sort of like find that fine line of energy, that fine connection between, how you doing versus, something a little bit more elegant, I guess. What I'm saying? What do we got? Sex and okay. You write what you know very well. For instance, I can write a very awkward scene very, very well. That's fair. Oh, yes. I love an awkward scene though. You can't really little things like that. Little things like that. Yes. I am a romantic. I love. I cry hard in romance films. First of all, The Notebook. The first time I saw that movie, the ending, I'm like, why am I crying? Like, I was bawling. I'm like, this is what is going on. They died, and I couldn't handle it. It was so much. Never watch that movie again. So hard. So hard. Did I tell you about the time I was backpacking through? Ross flirted first. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. I can prove it. We have a tape of it. Excellent friends. Call back, my friend. Excellent Afghani. Did I even tell you what the time of the day it was? Excellent. My daughter's asexual. She likes cuddles and holding hands is fine. Sex is a no-no. Yeah, there's also variations of asexuality. You know, it could be they don't have that arousal element. They don't like physical touch, or they don't like not that they don't like. That is the wrong word. It's just like there's variations of polyamory, and there's variations of hetero flexibility. There's different variations of all sexualities, and it's always good to understand those spectrums of love, because it also helps with writing in general when it just comes to things like that. But yeah, absolutely. But the guy I'm talking about, I'm not going to get into details, but let's just put it this way. After a very motivated choice on the girl's part to do something, she, went to kiss him, and he lifted up an iced tea and said, you want to drink this first? I only know that story because she told me, because she was freaking out. Because, what is wrong? And then he told me, and just to hear the two stories differently was very funny, because one was like, the girl was like, what is he not telling me? And the guy was like, doesn't she know that's gross? I'm like, bro, the tea thing was a bad move. That was not the right move, I assure you. Anyway, romance. #romance. That movie was much better than the book. I cannot argue with that. I cry more when animals... Oh my God, so true. So true. If an animal dies irresponsibly, I'm like... But if you kill an animal... Let's put it this way. I like the first 5 seasons of Game of Thrones, but I'll be honest. When Eddard Stark is like, I'll do it, and he goes, and he just... I'm like... I hated that. I hated that. Hated that scene. However, when the people cut off the heads of the dire wolves and like they put it on spoiler alert, Rob's head and stuff like that, I wasn't as angry, and I think the reason is because if I was put in the position of Eddard Stark, I would have easily just let the dog escape. Stories of the past. I have plenty. Like Legos, because it has a lot of ideas running through it at all times. She also said I should have told Stick with my one story and not go to another. Oh, you should stay on one story. I agree with that. John Wick agreed. Everyone keeps asking me if I'm back. And you know what? Yeah, I think I'm back. I'm back. Okay, anyway. All right. Sex or intimate sex scenes, harder stuff. I think we talked about this at length. Yeah, at the end of the day, this is probably the hardest. And I think Am I right, ladies? Okay. I would probably choose it. In fact, I would choose this one too. Though I am comfortable in writing it, it is the harder or the more difficult subject matter to breach or broach. Would past tense be breach? You broach the subject. You have broached the subject. You broach the subject. Is it ed? Broached. But I'm also, I can write it. I can get it out there. But it is that one where you're just, I did a video on Instagram and YouTube about it where it's like a short and I'm just like, you just, it's from the secretary where he's like, read the paper. And then every time she has a mistake, he slaps her in the butt. And then it cuts to me just sort of like, because like, that's the reality of being a writer. When you're writing violence or people having like an intimately soft romantic moment, or they're outright just having a sexual scene. Like, as writers, we're in the room, but we're either this close to them while they're doing it, like, and we're just like, you know, and they're ignoring us as if we're not there, but we're like, hey, just ignore me. You know? Just ignore me. Keep it going. And of course, violence and aggression. This can become uncomfortable. I think the aggressive part is probably harder to write than the violence per se, but anything that really is traumatic. But anyway, all right, let's call it a day with that. Ending the poll, 71%. There are no wrong answers. There we go. I'm trying to change up the polls, you know, because usually they're just like, what is your writing style? You know, I'm trying to create a conversation with everybody, you know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get to the fun part. Boop. All right, answering audience questions. If you have any questions about writing in general or your own books or what have you, or what we did today, feel free to ask. I'm always happy to jump on and talk about it. If you're new here and you haven't done so already, please bloop that beard and bloop that like button. The interaction helps the algorithm of the YouTube gods and lets people know that this channel is doing it. Also, if you like randomness, feel free to subscribe. Every Wednesday we have a video, and every other week we have an interview with a top or somewhat known or even just an author in general. We talk about the writing craft, not necessarily their career or their book. We actually talk about the art of writing. And then, of course, without a doubt, every Saturday and Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do have a live where every Saturday is real-time examples and lessons. And then, of course, Sundays are what we did today. However, I think Saturdays are going to start becoming more of a, because I have, like I said, I have a huge queue of potential edits I can do because everyone's sending me different kind of variations of stuff. So Saturdays might just turn into me just doing edits in real time and looking at guests' work, you know, friends and viewers. If you haven't done so already, you want me to look at something, you can always email it to me. If you don't know my email, remember it's makearightleftheere.com. It's scrolling off the bottom, but there it is, makearightleftheere.com. You go to contacts. Can't send anything to me through my website, but you can email me through my website, and then I'll email you back and give you a yay or nay. That's all it is. It's all it is. It's all it is. Oops. I like that idea. The idea of doing the edits in real time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a lot more fun with that too, because it also works the brain. It gives me a chance to sort of look it over. However, to be fair, my edits are less line editing and copy editing. That's not necessarily my strong point. My strong point is the invisible stuff. It's looking at the pacing of things. It's looking at the choice. So if I'm saying something is not working and it's not about the line edit, I'm looking at it from the character POV or the narrative structure or other things. My job is to teach writers how to use tools and approach their writing in a way that gives the writing agency, not just the characters, but you as an author are giving the narrative itself agency. But I like having ideas for other stories, and now I have written them all down. My friend, as I always say, do as you please, because at the end of the day, writing is just a creative art form. So, if you wanna think about every idea that pops up and then write down every idea, do it. It's harder to get things finished if you don't focus on ideas. That doesn't mean you can't think of ideas. It doesn't mean you can't write down ideas. It doesn't mean you can't quickly outline ideas. But if you don't put time into finishing a project, it won't get finished. It's just the rule of thumb. Other than that, All right. Anything else? All right. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Are there any questions? All right. I guess that's it. Yeah, we did good. That was a pretty good day. Let's see. Oh, let's go over the schedule and then we can call it a day. We gotta talk about the schedule. Boom, popping it up. All right, Wednesday. I think Wednesday's the oh, snap. All right, Wednesday will be the final plot point. Yeah. Wednesday will be the final 27th plot point, so that's fun. Friday, I actually don't have a video this Friday. Or maybe I do. Let's see what happens. Saturday was originally supposed to be What About Backstory Delivery, but like I said, I think I'm going to just start getting into the editing stuff. I don't know if whatchamacallit, Afghani is here, but next to Saturday's video, Afghani's old note is there. Thomas, you should make another video like this, but give it a bombastic title like Professional Editor Edits Real Life Manuscript or something along those lines. See, when I tell you I write stuff down, I do. Good. I will have a few days to finish what you created. I am on plot point 11 video. Yeah. Fantastic. I hope you're learning a lot on those videos. I tried to isolate the 27 plot point outline just so people could look at that and use it as a reference point if they have to think of certain things. But anyway, yeah, so Saturday I'll probably start the line editing. Let's see. What is this? Oh. Got some more Rewrite the Greats coming up soon. I will be rewriting Twilight, by the way, in August. I have it scheduled for August. Rewrite the Greats. I'm going to rewrite the first page of Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. What else do I got? Let's see. I will be doing a rewrite of the first page of Interview with a Vampire. I'm excited about that. Got a couple things. I'm going to be rewriting The Eye of the World, the first page of The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. Yeah, I got a couple rewrites coming. I got a couple. I might even do... well, I have here to analyze Dracula, but I think I'll just actually just focus on other stuff. Don't forget to get his book On the Plot. Oh... Yeah, the book. Somebody, this one. Boop. Somebody emailed me the other day asking when because I'm writing a version for romance, fantasy, and something else. I think noir. It's upside down. I gotta get it reprinted. What is it? My brain is like, I can't remember anything. Yeah, mystery and crime. I'm going to try to get the romance version out by next year. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm writing the book to explain romance and then how to look at the 27 plot points for romance specifically. It might not be as big of a book as this one was, because this was sort of like the foundational one. But I'll be working on that for sure. Woohoo! Twilight! Twilight. All right, I rewrite Twilight all the time. That's funny. Thanks, Angel. I already bought that one. Oh my God, you're the best. I hope you're enjoying that book. I loved writing that book so much that I flew through it. I also really like making the cover. I like the cover of that book. Do I have anything? Anyway. All right, everybody. Okay. Is that it? That's it. I think we're done. I think we're done. What does this week look like? Oh, that's it. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, everybody. I hope to buy it one day. You can buy it any day you want, my friend. Any day. Any day. It's a fun book. It's a fun book. Oh, that's right. Emma Bennett does the forward, yeah, which is awesome. She was very, very generous to allow me an opportunity to pop her name in there. And she's like, this guy's all right. This guy's all right. I don't mind saying it. He's all right. We love the Emma of the Bennett. Emma of the Bennett. Emma. Okay. All right, I think it's time to go. We had a long day. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I'll see you next week. But more importantly, remember, be good to your fellow people. Also, you're not alone. Writing feels like it might be isolationists, but it's not. We are all here to help one another. Please, if you know one another, if you don't know one another, remember you could go to the Discord, you could go to the Facebook group, you could, whatever the case is, interact and elevate and celebrate one another. If you need beta readers, maybe one another can help one another. The whole point is that we work together to grow together and rise together. I'm Thomas J. Bellezza, and as always, keep developing the right mindset. I'll see you next time. Bye.